Hello, this is about a three-state solution, but not just for Israel and Palestine, and not just for the three states to help the world, countries A through Z, because we are a system A through Z, names A through Z as the human body, as a human of individual body, and with group difference slash S. That singular difference being the identity, that its identity of relationship to itself, and the only increasing value of that is why and how the other species bodies are manifest the way they are too, distinctly, non-distinctly, and simultaneously slash hyper simultaneously as ourselves, as itself as the identity of hyperrelativity, which is to discern using science a distinct identity of simultaneous nature. There also, nature demonstrates it is more probable and increasingly demonstrable that and how ancients more probably just used God as a variable relative to teaching about the difference between constant, variable, and hyperconstant, and where and how we have an extent of the hyperconstant that we could discern with any subject that we could discern natural truths with, hypernatural truths with. Some things are only natural as criminal insidious nature, but as its system. So, for example, witch trials, no matter what, who made them up or what was part of it, who made up what or what, there are things that we could discern there about anyway. We could discern their relativity, no, forced by nature itself. Styles and descriptions of reason, not to leave out what everyone left out, how it's about the torture, extortion, slavery method. How that was motivated is also recorded. There is the phenomenon of the hyper-evidential and how it shows little kids can use it to discern remotely used criminally foreign influence slash hyper-criminally foreign influence three ways. The uses of names A through Z in ways nobody wanted and needs. And relative to where and to how, it is hyper evidentially recorded where, how, and why actually. I know that people claim other, but we could discern, in other words, where and how actually people never used what nature increasingly has been demonstrating to us as the identity of itself that has us with black pupils, whites of eyes. And even though they assign that to communicate other, all it does is more make easier to discern the hyper invisible but still discernible breaching method that came with all the negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures that it caused and that were entrenched before America's founders were born, and where experts had and have obligations to make that understood and clear, and where every little kid can understand it. Instead, there are self-valued roles with all natures of of employments, with in defense of integrity, reliance and needs upon and to be styles of or natures of logic used to keep blamed on other things, others, ourselves, even when correctly. Like, for example, in other words, someone wants to deny that the suburbs were designed to actually denature, to cause negative value nature progressions, acts, and natures, and to keep while simultaneously more and more to maintain the only means to cause positive value nature progressions, acts, and natures would be to be if self-value rules with the positives and negatives as collusions to keep from discernment the identity of the breaching method as a scientific value. And every identity, even one made up, has relativity to positive and negative simultaneously. Because every identity has a semi-nature relationship. While and where and how as a complete identity to the identity of hyper-simultaneous nature. Just like all parts of your body have a semi-nature relationship to your body in demonstration of this. Thank you.